Welcome. I'm in the New Forest, obviously, and spring is here. Just signs of it everywhere. Even the oak trees are making their leafy presence known, and that's pretty early for them. And what is also early is bluebells, and so I am on a bluebell hunt. Now, excuse me while I get ready. I promised myself that this year I wasn't going to do this. I was not going to spend ages running around the countryside looking for bluebells. And last year I thought I'd got it all sorted. I did all my research and I got my locations sorted out. I knew I was going to go this year. But actually, it's not quite turning out like that. Oh dear, it's like some kind of drug. It's some kind of addiction. So, here I am, yet again, on a bluebell hunt. Let's see how it goes, shall we?
Ages have passed since acorn rose through muddied ground. Gentle as the lightest breeze, layer by layer, from earth and air to wooded heights, I shall in time, like all things fall.
I have been walking for about 20 minutes or so, and so far I haven't seen a single, I nearly said bluebell. But what I have come across is this rather gorgeous river scene here. And being a bit of an opportunist photographer, I'm not going to walk past it because it might be the only shot I get today. So I'm going to just take a little bit of time here to look at this. I love the way the sun is catching on the riverbank down here with some really gorgeous dappled shade, and then we've got the reflections of the trees down there. Let me see if I can show you this. So let's turn you around. There we go. Rather beautiful little scene, and so I'm going to see what I can make of it, and if this turns out to be any good, it's a shot. So I wanted to try this shot with and without a polarizer, because there's a lot of reflection on the water, and also I wanted to slow it down as well. So I've put an ND8 filter, so that's a 3-stop filter on, and because it's quite still, so I don't think I'm going to get much movement in the foliage. But I've also taken a faster picture as well, just in case I need to blend that, because I can always blend the water in. But what I wanted to do, I'm just going to switch the camera here into moving mode, and we're going to just record this. Okay, so here we go. So what you can see now, if I just zoom in a little bit on this for you. Okay, is that if I turn the polarizer here, you can see an enormous difference in the level of reflection on the water. So I wanted to take a lot of that sky reflection out, because what I really wanted to see was the reflection of the trees in the water, and so it makes a huge difference. What it will also do, I think, is it makes some difference in terms of, in terms of the degree to which the greens really pop in this image, because with the sun being so bright, we're getting an awful lot of reflected light off the leaves, and so I wanted to cut that down as well. So we want to see the greens, not the glaring yellows, if you like, of the sunlight. So hopefully that makes some sense. But it's a beautiful little scene here, and I'll probably take various versions of it. And if any of them are any good, then here's those shots. Well, this seems like as good a spot as any for a bite to eat. Now, one of the advantages of stopping for lunch is it slows you down and it gives you time to really look at a place. And I've decided that there's actually a slightly better position to take this image from, which is pretty much where I am right now. And I'm just going to try and position my tripod so that it's in that spot. And it's going to take a little finagling. The other thing that's worth noting here is sometimes I'm just checking my microphone's on because I've messed that up a couple of times lately. In this particular scene, my camera is telling me that at, let's have a look, 1.6 seconds exposure time, shutter speed, that I'm exposed correctly. And so I take a picture at that level. But if you go in and you have a look at the split between RGB, the RGB histogram, so the overall and then the red, green and blue, you'll find that in this scene the greens are overexposed. And that's not entirely surprising. There's a lot of green in this image and the sun is shining on it, and so it's overexposed. And so I've actually dropped the exposure back by, let's have a look. Yeah, 2 full stops basically to 2.5 of a second, and that gives me about the right exposure for the greens. Otherwise, they're just going to be massively too bright in the final image. Okay, 2-second timer, and off we go. Now, the disadvantage of dropping down the exposure that much, I mean, I'll be able to recover the blacks, I'm sure. When I look at the histogram, we're not right up against the dark end of the histogram. We're absolutely fine. And there's just the very slightest little hook on the green where it just gets to the right hand side. So I reckon that is pretty much spot on. Absolutely looks gorgeous. Okay. I'm also going to take this one without the 3-stop filter.
1,000 trees fall and nobody hears.
So I have discovered where at least some of the bluebells are. Right there. The other side of this barbed wire fence, because this is private land, And where I am is access land, and unfortunately that means I can't get in. Now I could shoot over the fence, but I can't really see a shot, to be honest. So what I might do is make my way along the line of this fence and see if at some point I can see a composition that might work from this side of the fence. So this is quite a nice little scene here, and just looking down on these two pieces of deadwood, this one and this one, and just using these as a little bit of a kind of foreground interest, if you like. I quite like the way they're catching the light. I've been stood here for about 25 minutes waiting for a little bit of shade, and it's happening. Hang on. Well, that lasted literally about 10 seconds. It was just enough for me to change my exposure and fire off a couple of shots. So I now have some images of this scene with dappled sunlight and in sort of, well, not quite full shade, but shadier anyway. And so yeah, it's something and nothing, isn't it? It's a shame that it's the other side of the fence and I can't really go and play around with the composition at all. I have tried it from different heights, but that's about it really. And I'm not really getting this sort of full carpet effect of the bluebells here. They're not really quite dense enough. My general rule of thumb when photographing bluebells is normally somewhere around about 35 to 50 millimeters is about right to get the sort of carpet effect, and to try and get a bit of height as well. Here I'm very limited by in terms of what I can do by the fence, but I have tried different heights. Also quite like the way that this branch here is coming down. Can you see it coming down into the scene and sweeping across the other side of these two branches in the foreground. So it's something and nothing. Who knows what it's going to look like in post-processing. I might be able to make something half decent of it. But I have spoken to several people going by on the path just behind you, and the word on the street, so to speak, or on the path, is that really there's not a lot of bluebells to be seen in this stretch, and that mostly they're in this private estate which isn't accessible from this side. I'd have had to approach it from the other side and gone into, well, there's some offices apparently in the estate, and I'd have had to park in their offices, car park and stuff. I don't really want to be faffed with that. I love it when the forest surprises you with a little scene like this. So I found a couple of little flowers just in the embankment here, and so I've got my close-up lens out and a little light to highlight some stuff with, and I'm just playing around. So if any of these are any good, here's those shots.
Is ever new, soft as the rain in summer's long mist flowing in the autumn chill.
Well, as is so often the case, I'm not sure that I really got what I came for, but if you keep your eyes peeled, you'll get something, and it's a matter of making the most of what there is, isn't it? So I've enjoyed my little trip out to the forest today. The sun is shining, spring is in the air, carpets of daisies and green grass, and the trees are in leaf. It's all good.
Is all that we breathe, is all that we breathe. Breath of the woods is all that we breathe. Dawn's quiet rise is ever new, soft as the rain. In summer's long mist flowing in the autumn chill.
I do wish you a happy bluebell hunt this year. It is that season. It's still a little bit early, so I'm hoping there's going to be more to come, and I might have a chance to visit one or two other places. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. See you soon.